Reality does not go away when it's ignored. That is a quote from Thomas Sowell. And let me walk you through that quote for a second, because I think about it a lot, usually when I'm walking or having a bike ride. So if you've been putting your health on the back burner for a little while, your health is not on hold, it is declining. And here's the reality that most people are ignoring. Like losing a few pounds probably won't change your health that much. Not as much as you think, at least. I know that's not what the before and after pictures promise, but do you think you are a few pounds away from being healthy? Because you don't get to stop whenever you've reached your ideal body weight. It should be before, after, and now. Anyone can lose weight, but maintaining it over a lifetime is something else. I mean, I could go for a run for an hour and easily lose 4 pounds. I didn't become healthier in an hour. A slightly smaller version of an unhealthy life is still an unhealthy life. So let me ask you the question underneath the question, the one that the scale cannot answer. What do you want to do with your body? What life do you want to live? Because I don't want you just to look a certain way for the summer or for a wedding. I want you to move freely, up hills, onto the floor, playing with your kids and grandkids. Not only that, but actually competing with them. Being able to partake in any physical activity without your lower back feeling a complaint. And I want you to do this for as long as you can. This is why I train. I genuinely want to be a functional old beast. So if that's what you want to, then this was never really about weight. It was about movement, capacity, and strength, and keeping them for the long term. So start thinking about health like a language. And stay with me here, because nobody becomes fluent in a language, French, Spanish, whatever, by just taking one lesson per week and then spending the other 6 days in their mother tongue. It just doesn't work. The lesson gets undone before the next one even starts. And that is most people's relationship with health. So one honest hour on Monday, and then 5 days living in a completely different language. One workout cannot out-argue a whole week of everything else. So you know how you actually get fluent? You move to the country. You immerse yourself. You let the language surround you until you stop translating it into your head and just live in it. So that's the real work. Not a program, but an immersion. Paying attention to what surrounds you and asking a quietly ruthless little question over and over all day long, which is, would a healthy person do this? Would a healthy person eat this right now, standing up, not even hungry? Would a healthy person take the elevator for one floor? Would a healthy person go to bed at 1 a.m. scrolling on the phone? If the answer is no, and for everything I've just said, it is, just in case you needed me to say it, then you already know what to do. You don't need me for that part. That question asked honestly 100 times a week will remodel your life quietly without a single New Year's resolution. And this is the part I really want to learn, because I think we get it backwards. Exercise isn't something you do every now and then when the motivation shows up like an old friend who is always late. It's not a reward or a chore. It should be part of your identity. You don't find time to be yourself, you just are yourself 24/7. When moving becomes who you are and not what you occasionally do, then motivation stops being the deciding vote. So you don't negotiate with a Tuesday, you just go because that's who you are. Whenever you travel, you find out if the hotel has a gym, and if it doesn't, then you look for a different hotel. Because you are a person that exercises, and holiday doesn't mean you stop being yourself for a little while. Which brings me to the excuse, the big one. I don't have time. I don't know how many times I've heard that, but I like to challenge the people who say that quite a lot. Another quote from Thomas Sowell: there are no solutions, only trade-offs. So there's no magic slots of free time hiding in your week waiting to be discovered. There's only what you trade for what. So when you say you don't have time to move, be honest about what you are actually trading it for. Because the time doesn't vanish. It goes somewhere. And in a space where the walk, the workout, the home cooked meal used to be, something else moves in. Bad habits don't need motivation. They don't need a plan or a gym membership. They just need a vacancy. Ignore the training and something else quietly takes the lease. So here is the line I keep coming back to. We are the sum of our daily choices, and the bill adds up every day. Now, I don't mean that to sting. This is not a lecture, and it's definitely not shame. Shame is useless. It's just gonna make you want to look away. And looking away is the whole problem. I mean it in good news. Because if you're the sum of your daily choices, then you're never more than a few choices away from a different total. So you don't have to fix your life. You just have to start speaking the language again. Today, one sentence at a time. So what does immersion actually look like? Nothing dramatic. A healthy person tends to cook their own food. It's not a 3 Michelin star dish at every meal. It's just real food made by them, so they know what's in it. They eat things they genuinely enjoy. I'm not asking you to suffer. I'll take a duck breast with roasted vegetables any day of the week over pizza. I often come across gym goers that swear by the chicken and rice and broccoli thing, and I never understood that. I mean, is that all there is to life? Seriously? I mean, give me some beef cheeks, some scallops, some red snapper, some celeriac risotto, parsnip, chickpeas, and piment d'Espelette. And let me enjoy them. I'm convinced that if you don't eat veggies, it's probably because you don't know how to cook them properly. So show me your knife and your chopping board, and it'll tell me everything I need to know. I often challenge my clients to send me pictures of their meals throughout the week. And I'm always surprised by how little protein there is and the enormous amount of starch compared to the activity level. So here is what healthy people do and that you should implement without further delay. Healthy people tend to close the kitchen at a decent hour instead of grazing until midnight. They don't eat past 8 p.m. I mean, you probably do that, but your body needs time to rest and digest. And if you feel like snacking, then brush your teeth straight after your meal. It's a clear signal to your body that it's time to stop. They tend to walk every day, not just on gym days, because sitting still 16 hours a day, it's a kind of debt on its own. I often get puzzled whenever I see gym members driving to the gym and then walking on the treadmill and then going home. I mean, I don't want to sound judgmental, but why didn't you walk outdoor? I mean, look around. It's beautiful here, and I don't need to adjust anything. As you can hear by the sound of my voice, I'm a little bit on zone 2. So now, granted, I know it's summertime here, and I'm just showing off, but you get the idea. If you listen closely, you can hear the birds too. I mean, I don't know about you, I'd rather be here 10 times. So healthy people tend to spend their training around building strength. And that's key. Not just burning themselves on cardio equipment, because muscle is the one asset that keeps paying you back even when you sleep. It's by far the best way to approach weight management. So seek strength first. Most of my clients will discuss their ideal weight, but totally ignore what muscles can do for them and for the quality of their life. The stronger you are, the better. And no, you will never get too big. It just doesn't happen. Seriously, I tried. It just doesn't work that way. They keep a good rhythm to their nights. They wind down before bed instead of crash landing into it and waking up to something a little bit softer than a fire alarm. Because waking up is just part of your sleep. Just like a good movie that has a bad ending, if you sabotage your sleep with something that's so loud even your neighbor could hear it, your nervous system isn't going to be pleased with it. And your night is pretty much ruined. I use a dawn simulator, and let me tell you, it's the greatest way to wake up, according to me. Now, none of that is a heroic transformation. It's just a person living in the language and making the effort to understand it. So if you want the specifics, the how, the numbers, the order, feel free to subscribe and comment. And if you want to know which area of your life is leaking the most right now, there's a free health questionnaire in the description. It's free, absolutely free, and will take you about 10 to 15 minutes to fill up. And that's really it. Reality does not go away when it's ignored. But on the flip side, it doesn't go away when you face it either. It just starts working for you instead of against you. So you pick one thing, you say one sentence in the language today, then you say it again tomorrow. You learn the grammar, but you actually need to speak. So you grab a pen and a piece of paper, and before going to bed tonight, you write down what your healthy self will do tomorrow, and you have to be specific. What will you eat for lunch, breakfast, and dinner? What exercise will you do? Are those exercises even correlated to your current goal? And let me ask you, what is your goal? What is your current goal? And if you've still answered losing 10 pounds or losing whatever pounds, then feel free to rewatch the video. What will you do to improve your sleep? Is your phone still on the bedside table? And at the end of the day, you grab that piece of paper and you follow through. You see if you've kept your promises. And if you didn't, maybe the lesson was too hard and you need to return to the basics for some times before getting to the next level. So you'd rather be consistent where it matters most until you're ready to move on to the next level. Health is a language you must speak every day. Because if you don't, then you will speak its opposite. And that is it for today. I've got a walk to finish. You've got a choice to make. Until next time, keep talking health.